All right, we're immediately back. It's been like 3 seconds since my last message, since my last video. Ew. I will buff the pig and then send the chinchilla downfield and like we'll... You gotta put some... You don't know what unit you're gonna... I'll be an alleged ice cube. You don't know what unit you're gonna end up investing in. Because the unit you're most likely to invest in is probably just gonna be whatever you get the most of in the early game. So who knows, maybe we get a level 2 chinchilla, it gives us a giraffe, and then we're like, well, we might as well buff the chinchilla. For example. I will say, though, 5-4 pig, kind of poggy. Unfortunate, though, that it does trade with a 4-1 pig. Or a 4-4 mosquito, for that matter. Yeah, okay, that one hurts. I think that with different order, we're actually set there. But I think our order is sensible. It just didn't work. I mean... Maybe? I really don't like it. But it's so early, maybe you gotta at least put some respect on it. I would like you to not hit yourself, so I'm gonna do this. I can live with that. It's not what I would want for myself, but I can live with it. I was kind of hoping for a croissant, but that's okay. So the ideal thing, I guess, would be to get our wasp as much attack as possible early. Which, unfortunately, is not possible. Like, there's no food except cupcakes that would buff your attack. So I don't really know what to do with you. I just took you because you showed up early. I think we learned about a camel last time. I think we learned that it's just not... Well, I've accidentally hit Windows arrow mode or something and scattered my tabs to the winds. Sure, a croissant on our wasp in the future, but we need to not die early. I think we were right to buy the peach, for the record. I think we're not going to feel like we were right based on the result here. But I still feel like we were right, mathematically. You know what? Seems horrible. If we're going to commit to this plan, you need the croissant immediately. This is not... This is... horrendous. I don't know how to say it in any other terms. Now, why am I not pivoting off of it if it's so bad? Well, like, you're not gonna like the answer. I feel like any pivot will be worse necessarily for long enough to kill me. So, at this point, we might as well just, you know, ride it out of a sense of irony and run 4-squatted 3 times in a row. Yeah, I think we're going down. It's hard to imagine how we're gonna kill these units. So that was just horrible. And I blame myself a lot, but I also, and I'm at the risk of this sounding like sour grapes, I kind of, holy believers is perfect. I kind of blame the wasp. I mean, I think if you have like the chance to get foods that raise attack early, there's something to it, but we did not have that. So I don't feel like I felt like it was a suicide pass even to take it, which means, as you know, we should not have taken it. By the way, this team looks great in some ways, but is actually kind of scary. I mean, it's great to have so many of one animal early, I suppose, but is scary because when we combine these guys, where do we go from there? God, I wanted a giraffe, man. Like, I hate to say, I think you're good enough to take. And then I don't mind rolling this. With a dog, sure. Without a dog, I'm not necessarily sold on that goldfish, so I go Stork instead, because I know that if we get into, like, a serious situation, the Stork, at the end of the game, has the power to do more for us than we ever would have expected. We're probably going to draw. We actually won because we spawned a cockroach. Big ups to the Stork. Nothing but respect for my Stork. Hey, you're sticking around, take a croissant. You're sticking around for now, take some meat. I actually like, and you know what? Take a croissant. I like having meat on our camel because it's almost, with garlic, you're like, I gotta stick with this guy. With meat, you're like, get him off the squad as soon as possible. Now, obviously, this one's not gonna work out for us. I mean, I'm not surprised. Look at my team. It's horrible. We don't have a lot. I mean, we've won early, but it's got a bad outlook for our future. I like a raccoon after what we saw it do last time, but I don't know if I like it enough to put it on the team. At this point, sure. Give me, I'm willing to debase myself for a sheep. The sheep could also use some meat. It's a certain je ne sais quoi associated with these. Yes, I would not feel bad. I'm still happy with the snail, but to sell a snail, get a level 3 duck, which is not actually worth anything, now that I think about it. I'm realizing our problem, slowly. We're running into scaling teams when we have not scaled. That's bad. You scale. Summon a level 1 pet tier for that. You gotta kill a sheep, maybe. I don't see the camel going any further. I think it's... the sheep on level up doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to see what we might get going here. I don't know, man. Here's what I see. I see a croissant here. And then I see... and then I see maybe a lollipop on this mantis in our future. I think I might be playing a little too fast. I feel like I've lost a little mojo, potentially. Wouldn't be the first time. We're losing, and that's abundantly clear. We really are losing by the thinnest of margins. We're losing to, like, a B. That's not me saying, like, oh, life's not fair. It's actually me saying, you know, a slight adjustment to our play style could have unexpectedly high changes to our results. I would do this. Sure, why not? I mean, besides the prodigious cost, this is not a good enough team at round 7, I think. God, I hate when you get the perfect garlic, man. Just drives you crazy. The absolute perfect garlic. Okay, we deserve that. Don't judge me by the first 7.5 minutes of this video. And I was just about to say, anytime you see me running chinchilla, I mean, I can't be trusted, man. It's not a good place to be. So I'm gonna take a deep breath. Let me be a burbling joker, like he's underwater or something. Let me remind myself of something that is like a core element of this pack when I played it on stream. Okay, and the core element is you pick a unit, and I think it's gonna be a pig right now. Totally fine. You pick a unit, you invest in it heavily early rather than spending money on rerolls. And you're not always going to get the exact foods. Like, I think the way this goes is, like, you get to 5 pets, then you buy a bunch of foods, then tier 4 good pets start to show up, and then maybe you buy pets instead of food. But for now, I think we buy food instead of pets. Although I'm not buying a second croissant. I would rather you have that, honestly. And then I think I'll take my level next time. You do basically break even on this one, so. I'm not turning a 4-1 into 1-1 by putting it on top of the pig. I was just going to say I still think it trades 1 for 1, which clearly is not the case when you got a dang stray cat popping off, giving the rest of you... Okay, but I'm not upset. I'm not upset. You're going to level? We have to try. If you get a dog round 3 or 4, it's like the standard rule. You have to try. So, let's sell the chinchilla. Ideally, we would also get the dog to level 2 as soon as possible. But we don't have a ton of control over that. I really want you to not buff yourself, so I think I need to do it in, like, this order. This order! Now, somewhere between the sacred otter and sleep. I could buy you. You're a 5-3 for 1 round. That also gives us a permanent 1 or 1. That's pretty good. We should not be, like, crying over that. We should probably just be investing in units. So we got a 9-8 and a 5-8 and a 5-3. This, it seems good enough to draw. I don't want to act like it's the greatest team that's ever existed. It's a ruthless world we live in, man. It's a cold world out there. But I'm still, you know, I'm optimistic. Like, you're gone. I'd keep the cat for now. You might as well. Toss the guinea pig out there. It's doing big numbers for you. The scaling is still pretty good. Buff a unit that needs it. Fantastic. Why don't you do me a favor, take some garlic? Honestly, a sheep is just like, it's good enough to use. And a duck I don't think is that amazing, but it gives us some upside on the cell. Like, this team is actually pretty good. You wouldn't know it. there we go. This is the way it's supposed to go down, man. And then the dog just just eats the rest of them alive. Okay, now we're talking. I don't think we really care for the tabby getting to a higher level, honestly. I think we just embrace the double cell on the chinchilla that keeps us at a reasonable degree of gold. Like, we're never going to feed you a food, so what would we care? Now, I will admit, Goldfish Dog can do something. But it's got to be pretty much perfect. I think if you had to, you could run a parrot right now. I think if you had to, just hypothetically, you could, in theory, like, give me a dog. Like, so that I could get to level 2 or something like that. But that's just... I don't really have a whole lot of control over that. That's mostly, like, in your court. I just... Anyone else find themselves... Oh, I don't know about this one, man. I don't know. We might have actually just been saved by that blowfish. Or, sorry, by the iguana. I think we were. We're gonna draw. I'll live with that. Anyone else brace themselves at the start of every Super Auto Pets battle for the 500 things your opponent's about to do and that are gonna blow you away? You know what? Let's keep the parrot. I don't know if we're gonna find a way to use it, but we'll give it a shot. This dog is still like, we got to invest in it. I know you see it every time. You don't have to tell me. I'm watching. Not sold. At least your, like, stats for a minute. Our parrot is not so hot, I'll admit. We're not keeping a giraffe, which is maybe, as soon as you find yourself saying something like, we're not keeping a giraffe, you should probably rethink where you've found yourself in this world, because it is a pretty good unit. It didn't happen to show up at, like, the ideal time for us, but we are kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater on that one, I think. Please be a level 1. Oh my god. It's a level 1 peacock. It's merciful. Dog? Just throwing it out there that a dog would have been nice. Okay. So again, our parrot isn't really doing anything. But that doesn't mean it won't ever do something. So I'm rooting for it. I really am. I don't really want parrot whale because I feel like I don't understand it. Although, you know, what about whale rooster? Parrot makes it eat 2 things, though, I think. I don't know what to do about that. Pig, we simply don't need it. We could use that, though. None of these are that relevant. Okay. We got a 1627 dog. I guess we could have had rooster, parrot, whale. Their dog is just literally better. Hey, this is just a personal question. I'm not trying to be a hater. How'd you get your dog to level 2? Is that like a thing? Do you have to sign up for that? Is there a line for that? You know when you see someone walking around at like a festival and they got a food item you're really interested in? That's how I feel right now. Hey, where'd you get that? Hey, where'd you get that soft pretzel? All I see are like roast beef sandwiches. Oh, there's a soft pretzel cart over at the Chumbawamba tent? Okay, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Wait, is that where they're keeping the dogs, too? Okay, I don't know if this... excuse me. I don't know if this is the way. You could do something with a moose if you get lucky, too. Let's freeze it out of hopium. A shark can do stuff for you. I think it might be a little too late for our pivot here. They're going to get a lot of free stats. But it's just like it's tier 1s feeding tier 1s. Like, I don't know if I'm that perturbed. I'm not that perturbed, it turns out. Maybe Shark's the way to go here, but we got to figure out... that would mean no moose. And we would probably say... Because we still need the dog to get buffed. I don't know. Don't buff the rooster. Oh, that's the only thing I need you not to buff, man. The shark can stat it up himself. The dog needs the help. I'm no longer mad because a level 2 rooster... We're not selling a pig to fit a guinea pig at this point. Maybe I would talk about you two. Shark probably needs melon armor if we're lucky enough to live that long. I don't know. There's at least a glimmer of hope now. A modicum. And here's the thing. Like, okay, I see what you got going on here. You got an armadillo that's going to get like a bunch of triggers. What we're about to find out is if that matters. And it does. Well, it did, I should say. But we still drew. No, actually, it didn't matter at all. So you had the perfect armadillo setup. And yet, still lost to my team, which has, like, no care put into it whatsoever. I know that sounds rude. I don't mean it to be rude. Actually, the opposite. I think that means that the armadillo, like, desperately is in need of a buff. So here's what I'm thinking. We might as well start here. Because we're gonna... It costs us 1 gold. There's not a whole lot of snipers here either. I was thinking about selling the pig. And the pig is definitely the next thing we're gonna sell. But we're not there yet. We got very lucky. Their own movements there allowed me to kill their Triceratops in 1 hit. Probably still would have won. But the pig is the next thing to go. I don't know what we would replace it with. We have to think carefully. Probably nothing here. Scorpion's kind of... Okay, we would probably replace it with a Spinosaurus. The problem... I mean, in theory, a fly here should still create 3 and not be that bad. The Spinosaurus... should be able to fit. We almost have too much of a good thing, but it should be able to fit. And we're not buying anything else, so, like, I would just... I don't know. I guess I would feel like... I'm feeling like maybe we buff the dog's HP. Level 2 fly. Okay. Again, the fly, in my opinion, should live long enough to summon 3. There's 3 death triggers. Well, actually, there's 4 death triggers in front of it. Like I said, there's not that many good snipers in this pack. Turns out there is one. Pretty good one. I still feel like we might be able to eke out a draw. That was surprisingly close to a win, and they sniped like one of our best units. So I like this. You know, I mean, at this point, you probably should buff the rooster. Because it disperses the buffs. I really don't think garlic's going to matter on units with such low HP. I do think Melon Shark is very relevant. I think we're doing pretty well. It's a bit of a scumbag team, but I feel like we're doing pretty well considering we literally never got a second dog. Like, much less... Those are good iguanas, man. I can't be that upset. We never got a second dog. Much less, like, you know, a level 2 dog. You know it, and I know we're this close on that one, man. Okay, I still think that's the play. You know what? Probably that's the play. It doesn't look like we changed a lot. We changed a lot. I'm gonna do. You're on lethal. You gotta throw a flyer out there. Let's give a little meat to this rooster. I think that melon armor could help us out a lot if we don't run into big snipers, non-big snipers. I love that for us. They got their own shark. We got a considerable... Well, I don't know. That eagle might change things up for him, honestly. I was going to say we had a considerable advantage, but actually appears to have changed somewhat. I don't know how I feel about this anymore. I feel like we probably lose. I think that's a level 3 shark, man. That's a level 3. Holy cow. All right. Well, I'm not that mad. I actually think like we played pretty well. The only thing I guess I would say is, don't make me roll an iguana, man. There's nothing that an iguana even hits. Like, it only hits, like, sheep. Take a freaking mouse and stuff. Hot fries is perfect. The only thing I would say is it must be nice when you get copies of the units that you feel are most relevant for your squad. I wouldn't know what that's like with one copy dog, one copy shark. But we did almost have a level 3 fly, so I guess I'm just crying for no reason. That's fair. I could understand that. I'm gonna go a little deeper on. Let's create a 2-5 instead of a 4-3. I don't even want the buff from the chinchilla. What we want to see a beetle, and then we would love to see. We're not getting past that 4-5. I'll tell you that much. We'd love to see an early giraffe, man. I'm telling you, early giraffe on the first level up, round 3, is like the most bullish thing you could ever get. Don't worry about the buff. Just accept that this is a good opportunity. I would even say this is a good opportunity with the peach here, but I would also love for you to be able to, like, have a stronger unit. I don't know. Can I go? This is probably too far. I'm willing to admit that this is probably too far. But maybe there's a... And then you probably freeze the raccoon, just hypothetically, because I'm just... Please tell me you bought meat. You bought honey? Okay. Everything about their squad is better than my squad. It's a bad start. That's not the confidence you want to be bringing with you. You know what? Why don't you take a croissant? Yeah. Yeah. I'll have you for now to have in the hold. I'll level up next time. We spent a lot of money on rolls and didn't really get much value out of them. I'm playing too fast. That much, I think, is demonstrable. You gotta hate it when your mosquito ends up making their peacock a little better, but it happens all the time. You know what? I could have run a peacock myself if it bothers me that much. That's true. For now, all is not lost. It's just pretty bad. Now, I'll be honest with you. I stand by the value of a rooster. I think it can be incredible. I also think it can work well with a pug. We just need one more rooster. I also think a snail is just a nice thing to have. Now, what I would love to see is more roosters and really any scalar. Doesn't have to be spectacular. Giraffe would be fine. I mean, that's like the only one that exists in the early game, I think. One more rooster would hit the spot. Don't really need garlic on the rooster. A croissant. Okay, and look at this. As mentioned, there's our giraffe. We do need to do it like this. Now, the pug does not serve as much of a purpose as it used to. That's true. Well, let's run rooster closer to the front, and then, sure, pug can buff our beetle a little bit. So we got a lot of stat gain. The team's not super inspiring yet. I think we'll definitely run into some teams that are, you know, substantially more annoying. But holy cow. Holy cow. Just a couple of stat points are all you need to eke out defeat from or victory from the jaws of defeat. I'm so used to saying it the other way. I don't think the giraffe needs a croissant. I would accept meat. I would accept this as well. I would accept that. And I honestly think that buffing the raccoon makes sense. It seems like the kind of unit that can scale longer. I don't know what we're doing with it. I don't think we should be taking a pug with us. But for now, we're talking about it. At least as an easy way to get another rooster, I suppose. To get a higher level rooster. Some very unfortunate mathematics working out on that one. We're like 2 HP short of 2 for 1-ing 2 times in a row. Now, I don't think... on lethal, you're not the guy. I don't know if you're the guy either. I need you to steal some good stuff, okay? Now, let's run it like this, okay? Because I do want you to be a level 2 rooster. I think that has some merit. Am I crazy that this team doesn't look that bad to me? Level 2 rooster, the raccoon is whatever. There's luck, right? Stole your pineapple for no reason. You could see the moment my soul left my body. We still won, but you could see, I mean, I'm realizing the iguana's like anti-rooster tech. Okay. Natural level 2 rooster. That means the pug has no reason to be here. I'm not buying a wasp. I promise you that. I will level up the raccoon. I will take a cat. I don't think that, like, again, on lethal, I'm not thrilled about it. But I do think the cat is, like, it's probably the best scaler in the game if you get the right foods to go along with it. This looks like the kind of team that I look at it and I say, what are you doing? And then it blows me out. Is this the part where... Yeah, this is the part where it blows me out. Okay. So I look at the horrible stats and I say, why are your stats so bad? And then they beat me. That's common. That's not uncommon. Fair enough. Hey, 4 wins. Not amazing, but I love this weekly. We'll be back to play some more, assuming, you know, my immune system holds up. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!